Yes, we do give thanks for life and a mighty life given. We give thanks for all good things around us are sent from Zion above. So we praise for it for His divine love. Give thanks for all those people who are with us right here, right now on Helen Television System, and those people who are also here with us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Give thanks, Princess EO. How is the eye, my princess? Give thanks. Give thanks for all those people who are with us on Instagram. Definitely, Elfman Free Free 2, Priest Bless. Give thanks, Honorable. So definitely we give thanks for this divine opportunity as we are once more in school. You know, as you know, it is basically a schoolroom. Not what we do here specifically is just a school. You know, we are just uplifting ourselves, educating ourselves. You know, definitely, you know, just being everything that we can be. You know, so we give thanks for that divine opportunity and that divine knowledge that we could actually know that look that we as a unity, as a people could actually come together to effect positive change in creation. And definitely, as you know, where our stance is that we don't believe that everything would happen just abracadabra. You know, we believe that it is with immense work, you know, immense effort, you know, discipline, and also perseverance. We have to persevere through every difficulty that is going along in the world. We really persevere. We really need to put forward ourselves to the highest level of our a state that we have never even been in before, as the emperor says that Emperor Haile Selassie I state that it is basically we have to become something that we've not been educated to actually become. You know, so it is whatever that it is that we have to manifest into right now. It is not something that we now as a people have been trained to actually become. So give thanks, Honorable Goddess Ethiopia had a celebration. As you know, it is 25th of May, which is Africa Liberation Day. So give thanks for such a great blessing, had a celebration to everyone as we work for the liberation, you know, of the African continent, you know, and you know, justice and equity for all. So, you know, as the Emperor says again, you know, we know and we are confident of the victory of good over evil, you know, and we know we shall win, you know, definitely. So at the end of the day, it is imperative that as a people that we work towards the spirit of equity and that spirit of justice. You know, justice is something that is crucial, and the most important thing is that, you know, that the fundamentals of life, the bare basics of life. And sometimes people might hear us all the time say, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. And then they might believe that we are just saying, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, just because of like it's a saying, you know, it's just something that people just say, you know, but, you know, intricately, and I'm talking about deep down within, you know, all of I and I, intricately, you know, that whole spirit of gratitude is like the first spirit that one basically supposed to actually come forward in. It is important that that specific spirit, understanding that first love, that love of your mother and father of creation, out of the womb, you know, out of creation, when we come into being, when we are born, if just as soon as you come out, you turn back, what you're going to see, you coming out between the legs of a woman. So even in creation, as soon as you basically come into play, as you come in, immediately as you come in, what happens is that if you could have turned your back, then what you would see, you'd be able to literally see that, what you call the vagina of a woman. That's what would be at your back. So it is very important that as a people that we understand these basics and core and fundamental truths, that we came out of the birth canal of the woman, the vagina of the woman. So then, if it is that as a being, as someone who actually came into existence, who came into birth in this dispensation, in this reality, and you understand that if just after you were born, your creation, if you turn back, what you're going to see, if you just turn over your shoulders and you look back, what you're going to see, a vagina. So a man, woman, that's what we come out of in creation. We basically came out of that orifice, that hole, that blackness that is referred to the womb of the woman. So our initial point of existence, we're supposed to show gratitude. I mean, Corey Edward is saying some of us are cloned. Us. So Corey is even putting himself in that same group, but anyway, even the clone has to come out from between the womb of a woman, between the legs of a woman. Even if you clone, you are just, no escaping that one there, Corey. You can't come and say that, some of us know. Everyone, every living being, every man, they say Adam was created first. Even Adam, had a navel string, and Adam has a navel. So even Adam actually came out of a woman. I'm just talking for the biblical people, and I say Adam and Eve and all them type of things. So I'm just saying that gratitude, right? Just understanding that after you have been born into creation, if it is that you had that level of intelligence and maturity, when you spin around and you turn and you see, boy, where am I coming out of to come into the world? What you would have seen is the woman's vagina. So you came out of the blackness of the womb, and then you come into creation. And after you come into creation, still, the woman then takes you up and put you upon her paps, her breasts, and you suck on the breast of the woman to get food. So I'm just thinking of gratitude, the spirit of just giving thanks. So even before we go into any level of burning of crystals and burning of herbs and incenses and using crystals and all the different new moons and full moons and all these different type of things. Before we get to any of these things, all these things there would be share, focus. If it is that we don't realize and we don't come forward to that basic understanding of the significance, the importance of, you know, the home. So, if it is that you are someone who wants to demonstrate gratitude, and you hear that we now, Priske Lash is saying, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, and you hear people just saying give thanks. You have to fully understand why is it that we say give thanks, you know, and where does that foundation, that spirit of gratitude actually comes from, and whether or not it is just a fad, a fashion that you just follow, you know, whether it is something that really has a solid foundation. I'm saying what I'm saying, you know, just that as a people that we might just stick to the simplest of things, and even before anything gets too complicated, before we get too emotional or spiritual or whatever it is, that we just focus on the basics. So I'm saying that where we came from as man and woman, based upon just what we know, what we have observed, and even if at birth we had the intelligence and the maturity to look over our shoulders, we would have seen that we came out of the vaginal canal of a woman. So, by right, knowing that our path, our passage, our coming into being was out of that organ, coming out of that individual, that feminine entity, there would be an automatic reverence and show of gratitude to the woman, and also specifically the vagina of the woman. Why? Because we are comfortable with just looking at the basics, looking at the foundation, looking at the obvious. Right now we have a new saying called follow the science. We are following the science. And as science would have it, our coming into being into this realm, this creation, our passage is out of the inner chambers of the womb, the blackness of the womb of the woman, and out through the vaginal canal, out through the vulva, into the world. So, if it is that we are not being hypocritical, if it is that we are not being just follow fashion, if it is that we are just doing whatever it is that we are doing just because of hearing or seeing somebody is doing it, then in the spirit of overstanding, then that we now would see clearly that the first level of gratitude that you have to even be able to freely give and the first person that you have to truly honor is your mother. Your mother, right? So you have to give thanks for the woman. You know, for the woman, we have to give thanks for the woman. And give thanks specifically for the vagina of the woman, because it is the gateway, the channel, the two-way traffic where things go in and things come out. So definitely, as we are in the spirit of Africa liberation, the 25th of May, it is very important that the woman develops that capacity to take forward her true power, her true potential. So when we are able to humbly acknowledge our becoming and then consciously demonstrate a level of gratitude, so give thanks to my mother, for pushing me into the world, right? For carrying me into her bosom for over 40 weeks, what they would call 9 months, 40 weeks, 41, 42, until carry for that long, of 40, 40, 40, 41, 42 strongs, not weeks, not weeks, strongs. Give thanks specifically that we have that level of understanding where we can give thanks for that energy, for that love, for that peace, because this will teach you how to deal with a woman and how to basically deal with your own mother. How to just deal with what you'd call mommy, and if it is that we are honest and we are observant and we want to just keep that blessing there, and we want to keep everything organized, and we just, I'm not talking about helter-skelter, abracadabra, and no kind of spiritism or any kind of damn thing. I'm talking about just normal common sense. The reasons why you have to say give thanks, and then how logical it is that we should give thanks to the woman that pushes man and woman into creation, and we give thanks for that feminine energy of nurturing that actually carries that seed for over 40, 41, 42 strong. It's not weeks, because it's not weak, it's strong. So they say weeks, but it's not strong. And then push out through the vaginal canal into creation. It is very important that we have to give thanks, and then that would teach us how to deal with our mother. So then, when you speak to your mother, always think about turning over your left shoulder and look back, and then you'd see where you come from. From inside of the blackness of the womb of the woman. You understand? And if you just look at any kind of science thing, whatever it is, yes, have a love, Brother Edison, man. Greetings from Sasha Mani. Give thanks, honorable. Definitely our YouTube stream live will go off very soon on the YouTube stream. I don't know what happened, but it doesn't seem like this device there was fully charged. So for those of you who follow us on YouTube, I think in about we only have about 5 more minutes. This device, how this device, I call it device, it has vices, it was plugged and everything, but the device, I think, some kind of entity came in and just made sure that, yeah. So those of you on YouTube, I think that you might have to switch over to Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, do so now. You'll have to just jump over on Instagram, so at least you can still get the live stream. Those of you on YouTube, for you to still get the live stream, because this device is going to be going off. So you could just go on Instagram. So it's Honorable Priest K Lash on Instagram and join the live. Alright, so if it signs off, it just signs off. I'm just going to go until it just signs off. But at the end of the day, I'm just giving you a for notion of exactly what will happen. Give thanks, Honorable. Yeah, so it's not about nothing about no kind of spirit thing and about I'm spiritual and this and that. It's about just come to your common sense and just normal, and just understand that you have to look back and give thanks for the woman. So then that dictates how you deal with the female entity. And then that dictates exactly how is it that as a female entity, how you deal with your own vagina. Because a lot of women don't understand even the sanctity, how sacred, how divine, how holy, how a vagina, this is the most divine place, the holiest place in creation. If they have one place that you'd want to keep safe, and sacred and well protected, is the vagina of the woman. Because you understand that the womb of the woman is that place that sperm actually goes into, and spend that time and evolve and create and grow and not develop, and gets uplifted into that being that comes out into the world as creation. So if there is one holy place in the earth, right, it will have to be the reproductive organ of the female, the woman. So then, if we just think of it logically, and if we just think of it for real, right, then now we would have that clarity of exactly how it is that we're supposed to treat the female entity. And then the woman would be able to see that, how it is she's supposed to treat her vagina. How sacred it is. Remember, I'm telling you, I'm not talking about it to any church. I'm not talking about a holy place is a church. I'm talking about if there is one holy place on the earth, it's the vagina of the woman. Flat out. And if there is a place that's supposed to be protected and cared for, that's the place. Because that's the place that maintains the continuation of humanity. Oh my goodness. So in all humility and sincerity and all, I don't know if it is that there is a word called deservedness. Okay, so we'll create the word deservedness, deserving. I give thanks for the woman. I sincerely do give thanks. And I give thanks for the vagina of the woman. Even myself, in my evolved and growing stage as a man, can look over my left shoulder and see where I came from, between the legs of a woman. Right? And give thanks for that woman, my biological mother. And yeah, man, I give thanks, man, for my mother, that she could have, kept me, for the free strongs, and then push me into the world. I give thanks for that. And in that understanding, then you'll have to just go a bit forward to the mother of your mother, and then give thanks for the mother of my mother, who could have actually pushed my mother out into the world. And then the mother of your mother's mother, and then the mother of your mother's mother. And you could go back, and then you could visually and realistically look forward and show gratitude of the simple things, the common things, the natural stuff. You know, not nothing that you have to make up. You have to look, you have to flip no card to actually understand. It's just that basic reality, that fundamental truth of where you're coming from. And then because you understand where you're coming from, you're thankful. And so you say give thanks, you demonstrate gratitude. And when it is that you understand that, okay, the mother, then the empress, right? That takes, because remember, you know, that the woman. Okay, so when I think about my empress, you know, Honorable Empress Ethiopia, and then I think about our children, you know, and then I have to think about, all right, that the woman has made a conscious decision to actually carry your seeds, you know, and have seen that godly nature that she wishes to replicate or to reincarnate or to recreate, what they would call recreate, but it's recreate. You know, so procreate is like recreating, not recreating, but recreating yourself, your own image, you know, and then the woman actually making that decision to allow her physical structure to transform, you know, her belly to actually grow and her skin to actually stretch, and her back hurting and her pubic bone separating. Remember, bones, you know, separating, you know, and not being able to walk up a simple hill without resting down on the back. You know, the difficulties in resting on the bed in the night when the belly is big, you know, and all these different things there. What position is the best position to rest, and all these different things there. And you know, that is even before the process of pushing.